Just wanted to share my story, since I have nobody to talk to. It may take me a long time to write it, but I hope at least one person reads it. I just want to feel connected to someone. This is my first post in here, after having lurked since forever. Have a really fucked up, non-abusive childhood. I was responsible for taking care of my paralysed father since I was 9. My older siblings were all able to enjoy their sports/social interactions and got to go out, but I had to stay in. I was like a subhuman to my family. Me and my father were really close, and I didn't think anything was wrong with taking care of him. I literally bathed, fed, clothed, medicated, and handled all of his finances and everything while growing up. My mom helped, but she had to work. I'm not socially retarded, I just don't have any incentive to do anything now, and lament interacting, because I don't understand how. My dad died 3 years ago, almost. I literally do nothing with my life. I work, go home, and don't talk to anyone. My last 3 birthdays pass, and none of my 3 brothers even called to say happy birthday. I don't get invited to family functions. They're all mad that my dad left me mostly everything. Finally start going out after work. Enjoy seeing NBA games. Meet a really nice girl. We start talking. I'm 22, and I've literally never had a girlfriend since I spent 16 hours a day caring for my dad, plus school, plus working while growing up. My brothers all make fun of me relentlessly. Family calls me a hermit, and jokes are constantly thrown at me. Me and this girl start going out, and she's a genuine 10 out of 10. First relationship, so literally just taking it slow, and just doing things how my dad told me it goes. Multiple dates over 3 to 4 months. Eventually get serious. She knows how I grew up, and took joy in teaching me the ropes. Eventually, one night we have sex, and it's fun as fuck. We move in together at 14 months. Feel like my life is getting better, enjoying everything. Eventually become a well-known calligraphy artist for a wedding company. I visit my dad's gravestone often and just talk to him. Suddenly, I get a call from my mom while at the cemetery one time. "Your oldest brother has been in a car accident. Please help us out with the medical stuff, please." "Yes, Mom, no worries. I will help them, since it's what my dad would have wanted." Call GF, she isn't answering. Leave her a text, then I'll be home late. Get to hospital. Square everything away. Tell the hospital I helped pay for /whatever his insurance didn't pick up. In waiting room. Nobody talking to me except my grandmother. She always loved me and is just chatting. Suddenly, Nona's girlfriend's parents come in the waiting room. They see me and start asking me, "What happened to our daughter?" "What do you mean? I texted her I would be here. Did she maybe tell you guys I got in an accident?" "No, she was just in an accident also." Turns out my oldest bro was fucking my girlfriend. Kind of numb at this point. She ends up dying. Revoke my promise to pay for his care. End up contemplating suicide. Drink heavily for a few months. Don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. First real relationship ends like this. My brother somehow fucked me with the ultimate betrayal. My mom says it's my fault because my cheating fucking girlfriend got my brother killed somehow. If I didn't date her, they would have never met, etc, etc, etc. Now family goes from passive aggressive to full on hate/shunning tier. I'm drunk right now, sorry, I should have notepadded it, but I didn't think I could stand running the whole thing out without bawling on this fucking train, and everyone looking at me like I am a fucking madman. Finally, decide I'm just gonna get away from everything, and hopefully die off in some faraway country. Enlist in the army. Airborne/medical officer. Basically a combat medic, who gets attached to a random special forces unit when they need me, or I stay attached to my main unit. Kind of just floating around all over Afghanistan, doing things, being a medic and shit. Basically a glorified nurse with a gun. Over one barbecue and drinking night, we had around year 4, I basically tell my story to everyone. Eventually, everyone starts looking out for me and shit, since I'm known to have pulled some crazy stunts, like pulling 3 guys up in a mountainside, or being fired at by enemy snipers/riflemen and didn't really care. They think I'm a crazy motherfucker, and will always make sure I have things I need at our base. Since nobody ever sends me any care packages. Guys tell the wives to send me from Tabasco, drinking mixes, seasonings, just really cool shit that makes living in the desert much more bearable. Eventually, befriend a few of them. They all live in Texas and want me to move there if we all get out. Out of the 4 of us who are really close. 2 died in the line of duty, 1 killed himself when he got home 2 years ago. It's just me, and I moved to Texas in honor of them. I stayed in contact with their families, and my best friend's family adopted me kind of. They always invite me to family events. I would do anything for them. First feeling, aside from my squad, where I feel accepted. Promise his mother that no matter what happens, they can always rely on me if they ever need anything, and I 100% mean it. Her husband got sick for like 8 to 9 months, and I took care of everything around the house for them. Yard work, trimming trees, helped out with their bills. I would do anything for them. Eventually, a productive member of this local town in Texas. Everyone knows me. I enjoy helping the local city group by setting up things around the town like festivals and shit. A bunch of older/younger sons of older guys group up and always set up booths/build the stages, and literally just a bunch of dudes who meet up and drink and handle all the manly handiwork for the town. Eventually, 1.5 years pass like this. I'm nearing 31. Have random flings with local girls throughout this time. Just enjoy the little things in life now. Video games, pool hall, hunting, fishing, working. I'm content. Suddenly, my adopted mom calls me. Her husband died, and she needs me now at the hospital. Help her through the ordeal. Make sure she has everything easy and can just mourn. Me and her 26-year-old daughter are setting up everything. I'm making sure no expenses spared. Through this process, me and her daughter end up getting close. She missed having a crush on me when I first got here, but always felt shy about talking to me. Laugh about it and explain that I'm a dirty old man compared to her. Eventually, this culminates into a relationship that's kind of flirty/friend tier. One day, a few months after everything, her mum calls me, tells me that she found a bin of letters from a best friend to her husband, wants me to go pick them up and read them, since a few of them were about me and had a letter from her husband to me. My best friend Calvin, who died, told them all about me while I was over there. How I took care of him when he got shrapnel in his ass, and made sure that he was taken care of before I just disappeared into another unit I got attached to. This was 2 years before I even met him. Further into notes. Talks about how he thanks God brought me back to his unit, because I am his group's medic, and nobody had died since I got there. Tells me about how he wishes he could have had a brother like me. I'm in tears at this point, even while on the train. He literally told his mom that if he and me made it out, he wanted to get them to somehow adopt me. He really saw me as an older brother. Send them a picture of our whole unit cooking some meat and smiling and shit while we were over there. Him, me, and one of the other guys who became great friends are in our BDUs and have shit-eating grins on our faces, while our fourth bro is in crutches with his hands wrapped in gauze, smiling in an apron. Tells them I'm taking care of everyone, not to worry. Wants them to meet me somehow. Eventually, get to his last note he actually had on him when he died. First line reads as follows. To mom, dad, sis, and the non. If we didn't get blown up together. I just wanted to let you guys know. I'm sorry, I can't even write what he wrote, or I really lose my shit. Suffice to say, it was his reason for enlisting, and hoping that he made his family proud, and his dreams for his sister, and a personal thank you for me. Eventually, thank God for everything that happened in my life. Realized the promise we meant on a mountainside while nearly dying meant the world to this man. Realize it means the world to me now, and I have purpose again. Realize my selfish reason for joining may have been the best thing that happened to me. Show the note to his sister. She laughs, cries, laughs, mourns again. Somehow, she ends up staying over at my place because she was drunk. We end up kinda getting together more often. Kind of falling for her, but scared of relationships. What would her brother think? Her father? Her mother? Kind of not sure what to do. Ends up leading to this last month. She wants to be together. Explain to her my worries, fears, thoughts about everything. She says she would give me time to think about it, but if I don't want to try anything, to let her know so she can move on. Disappear and go back to hometown. Rent a hotel room. Visit my dad's gravesite to let him know about my life and cry a bit. My grandma is still alive. I call her house number to see if she would see me. She's ecstatic that I'm doing well. She thought I died in a ditch somewhere or something. Tells me to leave the hotel and stay with an old lady to make her happy. Agree with it. Realize how much she reminds me of my real dad. Cherish every second with her. Eventually, word gets around that I'm back. 2 brothers and mom drive to grandma's house and try to threaten me that they're going to beat my ass. Don't really care, since they have no idea I've literally been soldiering for the last 8 years, plus hard manual labor in Texas. They are all fat, and just in general look like meth heads. Grandma tells them to leave. They aren't welcome. They threaten her to shut up, it's none of her business. Don't want to start anything, so just take their verbal taunts and shit. Finally, they decide to leave. Tells me they hate me, and know that I didn't amount to shit. Eventually, come to 3 days ago, and I make sure my grandma's house is all fixed up. Before I leave, we painted everything for her. Cut a bunch of firewood, did yard work for her, Made sure she was good to go for when winter hits her. Glad that at least someone in my real family has appreciated me aside from my dad. Tells me she is so proud I managed to get out of the town and make it somehow. Decide it's time to head back to Texas. Don't want to use free flights, so I want to visit another old friend in California who died and passed through / his military grave. Take a train to IDE to Cali, handle my business there, get back on a train to Texas. Not sure what awaits me there. I don't know what to do, guys. I really like this woman, my friend's sister. I just feel like somehow the betrayal that was given to me by my brother would be repeated if I did anything inappropriate with her. She's a wonderful person and reminds me so much of him it's scary. He was the only, outside from my military friends, I ever had in my life since I had no childhood. If God gave me the option of making sure he got her home instead of me, I would in an instant kill myself so he would have had made it back to his family. If it wasn't for him, I would have never made it back, I think. On some levels, I may have physically saved him multiple times. And me, I feel like meeting his family was my ultimate salvation. For the first time ever, I felt what it was like to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal with people who truly felt thankful for. I made a bunch of new friends and interact with the community now after moving to his town. I feel like I'm somebody worth seeing. Yet, I feel so torn between making something out of his sister and me and honouring his memory.